Good afternoon. This is TESPN, and we are live at Aycock Stadium on a rainy, chilly mid-September day for field hockey action between two undefeated teams. The 4-0 Saints of St. Catharines visiting the 3-0 Trinity Episcopal Titans here at Aycock Stadium. I am joined by J.J. Welcher, and I am Rick Hamlin, and I'm excited to be here to see these two undefeated teams clash, JJ.
Yeah, very excited to see these two undefeated teams clash. High, energetic teams as well. Going to be hopefully a lot of goals this game. It should be an interesting game.
Yeah, you and I were just up here, about 3 days ago for football on a warm, sunny day. And this is a very different vibe weather-wise and a whole different sport, but still seeing a clash of undefeated teams as we did on Saturday when Titan football took on Woodbury Forest, and Trinity fans hoping for a similar result as football took care of business against the Tigers of Woodbury. But the St. Catharines team off to a great start this year at 4-0, and the Titans ranked number 1 in the Mid-Atlantic region. That covers about 5 states. Number 12 in the nation, according to Max Field Hockey. But it's early, and I think some of that could be just program reputation. Titans got as high as number 2 in the country last year. And off to a good start here is Lila Grace Logan in that knee brace, but she's Penn State commit and a really strong 4-year starter for the Titan team, is able to win the first corner of the game.
Yeah, and speaking of that Titan team being number 1 in the metro area, they're also number 12 in the country. And Coach Need has kept this team really, really good for a very long time. So, this has been a pretty history program. In the gym, they have a bunch of banners up there with the LIS champions and a bunch of other championship titles. So, like I said, this program has been very good for very long. Coach Nee has done a great job getting these girls in that mindset of we need to stay good for a very, very longer time.
Absolutely. And Lila Grace's shot goes just wide, but a lot of power behind that. And, yeah, JJ, you're exactly right. I mean, Trinity Field Hockey for going on, probably 15 years now has been really one of the dominant programs in the state, and certainly in the Trinity Episcopal community, probably the most consistent winner of all the sports here. Anna Reeser was looking out to the left there for Polly Creighton, but that pass was just off the mark. So the Saints will play it in from deep in their own territory. Lila Grace Logan gets the steal. Strong shot, but they're going to say her stick was a little too high on that, and possession will turn over to St. Catharines.
It was great pressure there, turning defense into offense. Almost got the goal, but just ended up missing the ball by a little bit. The Saints did a very good job recovering from that turnover and getting closing the defense in around the shooter.
Good attack by St. Catharines, and it's a nice job to redirect that out by, I believe that was Liv Festige, and it's a little hard. I mean, it is raining pretty hard. This turf field is definitely going to take on some water today. We're going to see some slipping and sliding, as we just saw there. Number 28 for St. Catharines. As I'm trying to pull their roster up, I thought maybe it would. We're so spoiled that our executive producer, Carter Tyree, usually has rosters sitting there waiting for us, but we don't. So I'm looking there at roster up. But number 28 there took a tumble, but she is up and back out, playing, running, looking good. And this early going, about almost 4 minutes in. Both teams still feeling each other out. Neither team has had what I would call a great chance. Titans had kind of a half chance where LG's shot went just wide, and St. Catharines did have a nice counterattack, but no shot that came from it. St. Catherine's coached by Casey Gilbride. And Coach Gilbride, once again, it's the second time that young lady's fallen, but she's quick to get back up again. And that pass finally intercepted by Liv Fastige, who tries to play it out, but Saints are doing a nice job pressing, keeping it in the zone.
Yeah, these sports that require a lot of running, for example, soccer, field hockey, lacrosse, when the field is wet, it does get hard to keep your footing over time as your cleats wear out on the field. So slipping is going to be very common. We see it early, and if this rain keeps going up, it will happen more and more over time.
I was able to pull up a roster for St. Catherine's, and that's Ava Pumphrey, who is the one who's been down a couple of times. But credit to Ava. She's done a great job, the senior of twice she's fallen down, but quickly gotten back up.
Yeah, the players are going to have to get used to it. Like I said, as this rain comes on, the field doesn't get any drier.
No, it's raining. It might be hard to tell from watching at home, but it's raining pretty hard. Polly Crichton brings it on, tries to connect a pass to Anna Reeser, but it's intercepted by the Saints, number 6, Olivia Tull. And just as soon as that happens, it's knocked out of bounds, and St. Catherine's will trigger it in from about the 30-yard line on the right sideline, right in front of the Titan bench.
We've seen a lot of turnovers this game because the ball is very bouncy. This turf field doesn't have many rubber pellets to keep the ball on the ground, so the players will also have to get used to that bounciness of the ball that they might not be as used to on grass fields.
Well, it's a great point where right there, I mean, Ainsley Jones, highly talented player for the Titans, very skilled, and kind of an uncharacteristic play there as that popped off her stick and up and hit her leg, which turns it back over to St. Catherine's. But the conditions for sure, I mean, they're, I would say, probably fun to play in. This is one of those games as a high school athlete, you'll remember, be back at your 20-year reunion. Remember that game we played when it was pouring down rain. And for this time of year, it's fairly chilly as well. Game time temperature in the mid to low 60s. That looked like a fairly painful fall as she did the splits on that one, but again, right back up. Cabell Berkeyheiser advancing toward the cage, but good job by the St. Catherine's defense. And that ball travels all the way down the length of the field, and Trinity will have possession from the sidelines, about 20 yards away from their defensive cage. And that's Sarah Grace Boykin switching the field of play over to Olivia Fastige, who's out to Polly Crichton. Nice series of passes from the Titans. Anna Reeser wasn't quite on the same page, though, with Ainsley Jones. We've seen a sub about midway through the first quarter as sophomore Mackie Logan checked in for her big sister, senior Lila Grace Logan. And Lila Grace is still right now on a minutes restriction, coming back, just only her second game, I think, back from injury. So she's not cleared to play the entire game just yet, but she made a good impact in the time she was in, and I think we'll see her again before the day is through.
We've seen the Titans midfielders and defenders control the game really well. They've been able to switch the ball from the right side of the field to the left side. We saw a great move in the middle of the field as well to keep the ball on their stick and get it up to these attackers. The attackers just need to be able to get something going to push it up the field and hopefully get a goal soon.
Absolutely. Olivia Francis was instrumental right there, receiving the ball right around midfield and really driving forward at speed. Olivia's a sophomore who has made huge strides this offseason. And a couple weeks ago, JJ, we on the TESPN podcast interviewed a couple of seniors on this team, Ainsley McNear and Anna Reeser, and they both mentioned Olivia Francis as one of the most impressive players on this team. And another impressive player is Reese Eckenrode, who went with the backhanded flick that went just over. But Reese is a really fun player to watch. She's got a lot of tricks in her bag. And she's a junior, your classmate, but a player who's, I think, pretty much been a starter since day one of ninth grade.
It was a great offense-to-defense moment there for Reese as well. She got her stick high, was able to bat the ball down and control it well. Just got a little bit too far under it, which is not really what you want to do. You, of course, want to at least test the goalkeeper out, see what she can do. But it was a great effort on that play.
Absolutely. And, you know, looking at the St. Catherine's roster, a handful of seniors, but it's a group that has a large presence of junior talent, and even all the way to class of 2030 on the roster. I had to, like, check my eyes a couple times to see that, but that's a 8th grader, Quinn Mormon, who congratulations to Quinn for making the varsity team as just an 8th grader for the Saints. Anna Reeser looks up the sideline to Reese Eckenrode, and it's going to be, not sure exactly what the call was, but some sort of obstruction, I think, against St. Catherine's. So Titans will possess. And Olivia Festige, who in our last field hockey broadcast last week, we saw the Titans defeat Gloucester High School, and Liv Festige scored the opening goal of that game. We see her in a more defensive position today, sort of the left-sided defender. But one thing that Coach Snead does a good job is moving around players, a lot of versatility, and a lot of interchange between the positions that makes this team difficult to defend. Ainsley McNear put under some pressure there by Julia Ronau, and Olivia Francis was able to get it forward, and now Olivia with an interception. Looks to keep it in play to Mackie Logan. Mackie has tremendous speed. So if she can, I mean, this kind of weather is a little bit of an equalizer of that speed just because the footing isn't great. But if Mackie can get out in the open space, she can run. She's one of the faster girls on this campus.
I want to go back to that point you said earlier, how players can play multiple positions, and that is a trait of what has kept Trinity so good for so long. Coach Snead has been able to put players in different positions, mold them around, have them play in the midfield, then in the back, and then if they need to go in the late minutes, just have them go play in attack. And that's, once again, a trait of a good field hockey team and a trait of good any sports team. You have multiple players who can play different positions really, really, really well.
Absolutely, and just adjust as the game calls for it. So St. Catherine's doing a really nice job here. Again, if you're joining us late, Saints come in at 4-0 on the young season. Titans at 3-0. So a battle of undefeateds here. St. Catherine's with wins over Covenant, St. Gertrude, Bishop O'Connell, who was this last year in the state finals, as well as Catholic High School. Reese pops it up. She's in on cage. Save, but it's still with Reese. That went in, but I think the whistle blew before. I believe the Titans are going to have a corner, which we know are very dangerous in field hockey. But Reese did put that ball into the cage, but I could not hear a whistle from up here. But based on the body language, I think the keeper must have heard a whistle and obviously let that one go.
It was a great initial effort by the defense to come and corral Reese outside the 10-yard area, and the keeper to come up and get an initial block on Reese, maybe before or after the penalty, couldn't tell, but still to get a block, keep a goal out, and have a little bit of a harder opportunity for them to score.
Olivia Francis plays it over to Anna Reeser, who looks for Ainsley Jones, and that was just why a really well-conceived play by the Titans. And JJ, you and I, if we're being honest, probably both a little bit more familiar with soccer. I know you're a big soccer fan and have done several soccer broadcasts, and of course I coach and still try to even play soccer. And but those corners, I mean, those are, in a sport that's pretty free-flowing, corners give you an opportunity for a set play where you can train and practice and get people in positions, and that one looks straight off the training ground.
Yeah, Titans able to circulate the ball really well from the back line to the right side, back to the left side, without the Saints defenders even being able to react. And then it was a great shot by Ainsley, just a little bit off target.
All right, the first quarter is just about come to a close here. And indeed it is over. So after one quarter of play on this rainy, chilly, feels more like November type of a day here in mid-September, we have no score just yet. We'll take just about a 1 minute, 60-second or so break, and we'll be right back to bring you the second quarter of this tight LIS field hockey game. All right, we are back as the second quarter is about to get underway. And I would say that first quarter, Titans had a little bit more of the possession. Definitely the majority of the game was played in Trinity's offensive half, St. Catherine's defensive half. But having said that, other than a couple penalty corners that the Saints had to withstand that came close, it is not like it's been an all-out assault on the St. Catherine's goal by any means.
Yeah, like you said, most of the chances have came from corners, penalties, stuff like that. If you just count the in-play shots, it's really only been 1 shot to 0 shot in favor of the Titans. So it's been a very defensive battle. Of course, the Saints have been more on the defensive end and the Titans more on the attacking end. But that can change at any moment during this game.
Yeah, and the weather's a little bit of an equalizer as well. Probably, just it takes the most talented players and just makes it a little more challenging. Wet ball, wet stick, not very great footing. I mean, if anything, I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen more players slipping.
There's been a couple of off-ball slips. Maybe not like where the play is, but recovering to position, a little slip here and there.
Good job there by the Saints to dispossess Trinity, and St. Catherine's attacking good moves, but a nice job by Olivia Fastige to dispossess and knock it clear. That was Olivia Tull who made a good interception for the Saints, and they were able to progress pretty much as far as we've seen St. Catherine's get, probably just the second time they've gotten into the circle. But Olivia did well to come back after losing possession and absolutely be able to steal the ball back. But the Saints will trigger it in, pump free. And then it was number 9 there playing it in. That is Emma Ronau. But the ball went wide, and Sarah Grace Boykin will play it in for the Titans. Great pass by Ainsley McNear. And they're attacking on that right side. And now we'll get to see that speed of Mackie Logan that I mentioned earlier, but a good job by the Saints to corral it. But Mackie steals it back, lays it off to Ainsley Jones, over to Cabell Berkeyheiser. St. Catherine's getting a lot of numbers behind the ball. And that'll be a hack against Polly Creighton and come back out to the St. Catherine's way. But Anna Reeser takes it back. Great pass by Anna, but just that's one of those, I think, on a dry field, probably Ainsley Jones is able to handle, but that wet field made it skid. And the ball just, I mean, already the ball moves so fast on this turf, and then that wetness just makes it even that much slicker.
Yeah, but the defense and midfield for the Titans have been able to control the game really well. We just saw passing out from the back to the midfield to the attackers, almost able to get it up the field and for a goal. And actually just had an attack right there, but it was a great save by the goalkeeper.
It was. I think that the Titans, thought they'd scored. I saw a couple Titan players tell the referee that they thought it went in. I mean, tough to tell from up here, but the Titans will get a corner. Olivia Francis out to Anna Reeser. Back to Francis. That's a goal. Nice shot. And I think that was Olivia Fastige scoring the goal. I mentioned that the last game that we broadcast, which was last week, trying to remember what day it was now. Wednesday, I believe. We were up here at Field Hockey against Gloucester. And very similar, actually, time of the game where it was 0-0 early second quarter off of a corner, and Olivia Fastige put it in, and she did it again today. Now we see Lila Grace Logan has returned to the game.
Yeah, lots of chaos in the middle there on that corner. The ball bouncing around, but able to find Lila's stick, and she was able to score the goal for the Titans to make it 1-0 in this very competitive game on this rainy day as well.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's, of course, you obviously in a lower scoring sport like field hockey or soccer, scoring the first goal is so crucial. But today especially, this just kind of has the feel like it's not going to be a goal fest by any means. So getting on the board first, crucial for the Titans. And from a St. Catherine standpoint, I mean, they initially defended the corner pretty well, but no one really quite took ownership to get it cleared out of there. And Olivia Fastige was just on the spot and alert to it. It did really well to redirect it into the cage and give the Titans the lead.
Very powerful shot from that close as well. Goalkeeper had no time to react, really.
Second road goes down, no call. And St. Catherine's looking for a quick response. It is going to be St. Catherine's possession out at the 25, and Reese is going to come out. Mackie Logan back in. Good defending by the Titans as Ainsley McNear brings it out. Ainsley Jones showing off her speed. She's also a track star, and you can see why as she blew past 2 defenders.
That's really the counterattacking element that we see in these long-range sports like soccer, field hockey, and lacrosse. You get your fast players out on the wing with the ball. They can outrun everybody and create a chance for the team, which happened on that counterattack there before the ball was hit out of play.
Oh, Mackie Logan shot just wide.
I really do think she should have scored that there. The goalkeeper was on the other side of the goal. She had a good amount of space to shoot, just rushed the shot.
Nice switch of play there by the Saints as they look to progress up the left, but couldn't quite make that attack come off. So we are just about at the midway point of the second quarter. Good job there by St. Catherine's as they get the steal and they've got numbers flowing forward. Shot is just wide by Lillian Harder, but that was a really nice counterattack by the Saints. Emma Ronau also was in on that play as she was the one that initially dispossessed it from the Titans, and Harder with a strong shot, but it went just wide. And I mean, this Titan team now in their 4th game of the season has yet to concede a goal all year, with wins of 8-0, 7-0, and 5-0, and currently a 1-0 lead. By my count, that's 21 goals scored and no goals conceded.
Very impressive record. You don't see that a lot in the high school level.
You don't. And, you know, part of it is you look at this really veteran defense and this back line for the Titans. You got senior Ainsley McNear, senior Sarah Grace Boykin, senior Olivia Fastige, and junior Polly Crichton as the back 4 with senior Anna Reeser right in front of them, and then goalkeeper senior Avery Johnson. So if you look at it as a back 6, you got 5 seniors and a junior, and you know that's definitely, I think, contributing to their just stone cold defense, really locked in.
We even saw when the Saints had a counterattack, that defense able to hold their shape and compress the attacking team to not really have many options to pass. Like you see here, that one person in the middle is surrounded by 6 green jerseys. There's not much area to get through there.
There's not, but this is an impressive attack by the Saints. Goalkeeper Avery Johnson kicked it out, and that's all clean so far. I think it'll be St. Catherine's ball, but not a corner. They'll just get it out on the sidelines. Yeah, I agree, JJ. I mean, when they had the previous counterattack, I was initially thinking Trinity would be vulnerable, but then numbers quickly got back and got in their shape and looked very, very well drilled. Lila Grace Logan steals, and she connects with Ainsley Jones, but Pumphrey took it away, taken back by Logan, and she finds her sister, Mackie. LG to Mackie. Fun to see those two sisters out there playing together. Cabell Berkeyheiser brings it in at speed, but she could not quite get on the same page as Ainsley Jones. And going to be a corner for the Titans. We saw them score on the last corner. St. Catherine's didn't like that call. I heard definitely some displeasure voice from the bench, as well as the offending player kind of threw her hands in the air like, what I do, but the official was right on the spot, and Olivia Fastige, who scored on the last corner, is going to be the one who takes this corner. Cabo Berkeyheiser over to Anna Reeser. Goal, Olivia Francis, and the Titans take a 2-0 lead. And once again, JJ, we see how threatening they are from these corners.
Yeah, 2 goals off of corners, 2 scrappy goals, really. Not really clear play, clear passing. Ball deflected in the middle, just happens to find a green jersey, and it's in the back of the net for 2-0, which could maybe not end the game, because we haven't seen Saints get really a corner attacking opportunity yet, but puts them in a great position to keep building on the momentum that they have right now.
Yeah, absolutely, JJ. And, I mean, just in terms of how the scoring has gone, this is eerily similar to our last broadcast against Gloucester, where Titans were held scoreless for the first quarter, scored on a corner about 3.5 minutes into the second quarter, and then scored that second goal before halftime. And that game ended in a 5-0 win by the time it was all said and done. Not saying that's going to happen here today, but that second goal definitely gives you some breathing room. Good job there by St. Catherine's to get the steal, but Polly Crichton takes it right back. And they're going to get the hack on Polly, so it'll be Saints ball coming out. Good pass from Polly. And Reese Eckenrode, who's just come back in, finds Mackie Logan. That's going to go off Mackie's foot, and it'll be Saints ball. Mackie Logan with the steal. She looked to slip it over to Ainsley Jones, but good job by St. Catherine's to intercept.
We've seen the Titans press very well over the past minute 30. They've been keeping the ball on this side of the field, which gives this defense time to rest. And the St. Catherine's offensive legs get a little bit cold. So when the attack does come, we got to be able to see who's going to be ready for it.
Good call, JJ. Ronald's pass goes out of bounds. She was looking for Maeve Parker there. Titans are going to go backwards with it and just try and establish a little bit of possession on that back line. Ainsley McNear to Sarah Grace Boykin, and that was mishandled by Olivia Fastige. So with just about 100 seconds to go here until halftime, St. Catherine's will fire it into their own defensive half. Good pass there. Pumphrey to Ronau. And a nice series of passes, and Liv Fastige lost her footing and just kicked that ball to try and dissipate that attack. Saints play it out to the left. And they're into the circle. And they will earn the first corner of the game for St. Catherine's. Credit there. Lillian Harder, number 7, made a nice move to the back of her stick and was able to earn that corner.
It was a great call from St. Catherine's coach to bring the ball back into the defense, let the team build out from the back, and get their rhythm back through the passing. They got it through the midfield pretty easily and won their first corner of the game. Let's see if they can score here.
Yeah, this will be huge right before halftime. We're down under 30 seconds to go. And the difference between, from a St. Catherine's standpoint, being down 2-1 at half versus 2-0, big difference indeed. Harder plays it around. Shot was deflected. Well defended there by Cabo Berkeyheiser, and you can see in her body language she was pretty pumped about that one. And don't think there's going to be time for the Saints to get anything going here. And that is halftime. So your halftime score is Trinity Episcopal 2, St. Catharines 0. And halftime is, I think, just a 5-minute break, I believe, for field hockey. So before we take that break, JJ, do you have any reflections just in general on the first half?
Yeah, both teams doing a really, really, really good job when they start to build out from the back and not just try and force everything up front. So I think both teams just need to focus on good passing from the back, stringing together passes, get that chemistry rolling so that when they get to the midfield, get to the attack, everybody's feeling good, everybody's feeling great, and push for more goals. We only see 2-0 right now, but me and you are expecting a lot more goals in this game.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, JJ. Great analysis from you there. So as you can probably see in the bottom corner of your screen, it's just about 4.5 minutes till the second half gets underway. JJ and I will take just about a 3-minute break, and we will rejoin you just in time for second half action. Hope that you're warm and dry where you are. It's cold and wet out here at Aycock Stadium. Stick around for the second half. Welcome back. And the second half is about to get underway. Titans back out on the field. Saints have not quite broken the huddle just yet. And as we hear the cry of 1, 2, 3 Saints, we do see the white tops and blue skirts of St. Catherine's coming back out onto the field. Titans in all green. And I think that I think it looks to me like it's a change this year. Historically in field hockey, as like most high school sports, the home team is usually worn white. But this is my second field hockey game this year here at Aycock Stadium, and the Titans have worn green for both of them. And I know that was a change that they made in high school soccer a few years ago to have the home team wear the color jersey. And I guess maybe field hockey has followed suit. Saints will get us going here to start quarter number 3. And what an interception by Lila Grace Logan. And she brings it into the circle, showing off her skills, but it was taken away by the Saints. Once again, that's number 9 for the Saints, Emma Ronau, and she's been really impressive. Just a freshman, and to my relatively untrained field hockey eye, but she's probably the player who I've maybe been the most impressed with on the Saints team. There's a lot of interceptions, really kind of holding it down in the middle of the field. Really talented freshman.
Yeah, I agree, but that's what they're there for. That's what that position is made for. You are the hardest worker on the field. Usually you're defending, attacking, passing, ordering the defense and offense around. So that's where you usually put like your most captainous players, which is in the middle like she is, and she's doing a very good job.
Yeah, I had to double check my roster there just to confirm that she is indeed only in the 9th grade. And maybe Titans ball. Ainsley McNear plays it back to Sarah Grace Boykin. Those two have had a really good partnership. Those two senior defenders, both been really poised. Speaking of poise, Anna Reeser, one of the most poised players I've seen here. She always connects her passes, and that one's to Cabell Berkeyheiser, who carries it in. She's tripped up. I guess they're going to say it was just outside the circle, so Cabell will get it there. Not a penalty corner. But this one will be a corner as that popped up and off of the arm of the St. Catherine's player. She is pleading her case, but the official sticking with the call.
It's one of the advantages of building out the back with really, really, really good midfielders. They're able to pick out those passes once getting it from the back line. And you see there was a big open space for the two midfielders to work off each other, got it up the field and worked the corner, which we've seen them score 2 off of here. So could make it 3.
That's right. They've scored both goals off corners. Lila Grace plays it in front. Olivia Festige almost got her second of the day, but that one went just wide. But these corners are really dangerous as the rain keeps coming down.
Yeah, Coach Snead has to be happy with the way her team is doing on these corners. They're always in the box, always near, and getting these deflection goals and fighting hard to get these deflection goals as well.
And Arisa looked for the interception there, but it popped up off her arm, and it'll be St. Catherine's ball. We're about 3 minutes into the second half. Nice job there, progressing the ball down the field for St. Catherine's. These tents that the teams have put up to keep the bench players dry are kind of in the way when things are along the sidelines here, but I think 2-minute card on the Titans. I think it's Olivia Francis. I cannot see her in that tent, but she appears to be the Titan player who is not. I don't see her on the field, so I think that's Olivia that just got the 2-minute card. Let's see if the Saints can take advantage of this man-up situation, but not there because Anna Reeser was able to dispossess the Saints and play it forward to Lila Grace. Nice skills there by LG. She wasn't able to get that backhanded flick off. Ainsley Jones showing off her speed with the interception, but that's the second or third time today we've seen Ainsley struggle in the wet conditions and not quite be able to pull off skills that she normally would, I think.
With the Titans being down a man, we do hear their bench yelling back, back, back. So it seems they're going to sit into more of a defensive formation while being down a woman. And let's try and see if the St. Catherine Saints can capitalize off being a man up in this situation. Maybe send a couple more people forward so you don't have to worry about 11 or 10 on 10 in the field.
Yeah, absolutely. As in ice hockey, you hear a lot about power plays. I mean, obviously the numbers are smaller, so that man advantage is an even bigger impact. But still, taking a player with the talent of Olivia Francis out of the middle of the pitch has got to be nothing but an advantage for Saints. There is the 8th grader Quinn Mormon out there for St. Catherine's. And ultimately that ball is turned back over. It looks like the 2-minute penalty is up as we see Olivia Francis sprint back out onto the field. Anna Reeser with the ball in the middle. Good battle there between Francis and Mormon. It's going to be a hack on the Titans, and really a lot of life being shown here by St. Catherine's. I think these last 3 or 4 minutes, it's been probably their best phase of the game for the Saints.
Yeah, credit to the Saints getting their woman forward and attacking the goal, putting pressure on the Titans, but also credit to the Titans for keeping their shape, keeping their composure, and keeping up this amazing defense they've been playing all game and really all year to have them, what is it, 22-0 goal differential now?
Yeah, yeah.
All the players, all the teams.
Yeah, exactly. Cabell, Berkey, Heiser comes out of there with it. Ainsley Jones almost lost her balance but stayed on her feet, and Olivia Francis flicks it high. Well controlled by Ainsley Jones. Some really beautiful field hockey as they get it down to Mackie Logan. She hopes to get it across, but kicked out by St. Catherine's goalkeeper.
It was really a great kick out by the keeper. I don't think anybody was sitting on the back post ready for the cross, which was unfortunate for Mackie Logan because she did a very good job to get that cross off. But yeah, once again, credit to the goalkeeper from the Saints to kick that ball out of play and reset.
Turn and a shot by Reese Eckenrode. Reese gets it back, but they're going to say it is a corner. It's about the 6th corner, I think, of the game for Trinity, and both goals have come off corners, as well as even when they haven't scored, everyone has created a dangerous opportunity. Out top, Anna Reeser looks to redirect it. Shot is in. And that time it was Reese Eckenrode with the goal number 3 for the Titans. And I do think, JJ, that probably just about seals it. I mean, you still got about a quarter and a half to play, but it's hard to imagine a team that has not given up a goal yet all season is going to give up 3 in the remaining 21 minutes or so left of play.
Yeah, as a Saints fan and as the coach, you cannot be happy about what just happened. The Titans now have scored 3 corner goals off of 6, which is 50% success rate from corner spots. And it just is deflating now. You saw the defense getting frustrated after that goal because it was just a deflection. Nothing really special, just unlucky, really.
Yeah, and that one, I mean, it reminded me a lot of the first one where it really was just one player in green was kind of more alert than anybody else, and the Saints just haven't had that player kind of just take ownership on the defensive corners to clear the ball out.
Yeah, in field hockey, like many other sports, frustration doesn't really equal great play. When you're frustrated, you start doing irrational things on the field. So, like, those 3 corner goals could very well be the difference of a win here, and also heading into next week or next game, your head has to be clear for the next match. You don't want to drop 2 in a row.
Absolutely, JJ. And looking at the schedule for the Saints, they actually their next game is at Gloucester High School, which is a team that just visited the Titans very recently, and Gloucester, a public school powerhouse, and I think that's going to be a really tight game. Having seen both these teams, they're very comparable, St. Catharines and Gloucester. But that one will be Thursday at Gloucester, under the lights, 7 p.m. start for that one. And then after that, they've got Collegiate on deck, who is always a powerhouse. And that's a goal. Reese Eckenrode, goal number 4 for the Titans. And dare I say it today, but when it rains, it pours.
Yeah. Big mistake there by the goalkeeper. Just palms it back into danger, which is something you don't want to do. If you're going to palm it away, you want to either palm it to the sides where it's a tougher angle to shoot from, or just get it far enough away to where your teammates can get it, start a counterattack. Palms it right in front of goal, and then a person in green, like we've seen many other times, they just happens to be standing there. A nice little chip shot over the goalkeeper and scores the 4th of the game.
Yeah, that was a really kind of sweet move by Reese. When it got to her stick, she first drew it back, very composed, and then it was almost her body shape was like she wasn't going to shoot, and then backhand flick, almost describe it as like a look-away type of a shot, to use more of a basketball term for it. But one thing that's impressed me about the Titans today and in the previous game that I had the privilege to commentate last week against Gloucester is they stay very composed. I mean, of course, you see flashes of emotion when they score and a bit of celebration, as you would expect from a high school athlete, but they don't seem just too high or too low. It's just a very steady, almost machine-like body language and demeanor that the Titans show. Of course, playing really hard, but it's just you don't see those roller coaster of emotions that you see from a lot of high school athletes, based on at least what I've seen. Flicked in there by Anna Reeser, but I think maybe a stick was a little too high there. I believe that is Madison Jewett into the game. First time we've seen Madison today.
Of course, this year it's a little bit easier to say that the Titans have had their head up all season, keeping their composure because they haven't been down. But if you want to dig that deep, we can go back to last year when they were down a lot in the playoffs, came back to win those games. We've seen the clips in morning meeting about them keeping their composure, coming back and winning games in the last 15 seconds, which is, once again, traits of a good team, staying compact, staying composed, and having a great coach like Miss Snead.
Absolutely. Good switch of play there by Anna Reeser out to Olivia Francis. And Ainsley Jones took a spill. And I honestly expected kind of more of those type of slips, especially when we saw a few girls slip right in the early stages of the game. But there haven't been as many people falling as I might have thought. Reese Eckenrode going for the hat trick. Didn't get full purchase on that shot.
Yeah, definitely had an angle to score there. The keeper came out, gave her a little bit of a cutback room, just wasn't able to get enough power on the shot there.
Well, Reese has made her 2 goals look, almost so effortless that I was surprised she didn't score, even though it would have been a tremendous show of skill. But she's got kind of made the extraordinary look ordinary at this point.
Mm-hmm. And to go back to a point that I made earlier about the defense, like, letting their head hang, like, at the start of the game when it was 0-0, we didn't really see the Saints making mistakes like that, the goalkeeper making a mistake on the 4th goal. But once again, off that 3rd corner, we see lots of players' heads start to drop. Morale gets a little low. And like I said, you start making irrational decisions. So defender gave it away and almost allowed Reese to score, but just unlucky that she couldn't get enough power on it.
Ainsley Jones out to Cabell Berkeiser, and it's going to be another corner for the Titans. And I'm sure if you're a St. Catherine's player, coach, or fan, this is kind of the last thing you want to see when the Titans have scored already 3 corners today.
You see the Saints defenders, discussing taking a little bit more time with their corner setup. And this is what you have to do in this situation. Even if it doesn't help you come back into the game, it helps you get ready for next week, the next opponent, and to have a mindset going to that game. We cannot let what happened in this game translate over to the next one.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when they've got a couple really challenging games coming up with Gloucester and Collegiate, and these 2 teams will play again as well in October, and the Saints have to leave this game believing that even if they're not going to win today, that they can get it done when they see the Titans again. Great passing, cleared off the line by a St. Catherine's defender there. And I want to give credit to that player, just consulting my roster. I think that was Anna Safran, who did really well. She's a senior captain, and that was cleared right off the line, and really the last action of the 3rd quarter. So good job by Safran to keep the margin at 4. We will take a 60-second break and be back to bring you the 4th and final period on this rainy afternoon at Aycock Stadium. Stick around for the finish. All right, we got one more quarter to play. JJ and I are dry up here in the press box, but the players are soaking in this. This rain has not stopped. It's not pouring. Again, it's the kind of weather to play in is pretty fun. But as a spectator, as a coach, not as much fun. We see for the Titans mostly it is still the starters. I thought, yes, I do see Kat Short, number 23 for Trinity, sophomore. She's debuting her first action of this game. Saints appear to be rolling with pretty much the lineup they've had the whole game. Very, very few subs by St. Catherine's. I think they've only gone into the bench one time. All right, fourth quarter underway. Good job by St. Catherine's to take the ball off the stick of Cabell Berkeyheiser. That is Emma Ronau again, but she overplayed that pass out wide. Looking, I believe, for her sister. Julia Ronau. But the sisters didn't quite connect on that one. Sarah Grace Boykin she's been excellent today in the back. I mean, just really solid, made tackles when she needed to, been a leader. Pretty much hasn't given possession away at all.
Yeah, made a crucial block on one of their corners as well. I don't know how many people would have caught it, but from our point of view, we could see that she made that play that kept the game, I think, at 2-0 at that point. It would have been 2-1 if that would have gone in, but yeah.
Yeah, that was that corner, I think, right before the half, and that could have totally changed the complexion of the game, no doubt. We see Reese Eckenrode go down there, got tangled up with Harder. Not for the first time today. Those two have battled a couple times. St. Catherine's will have possession here. As the ball traveled out of bounds along the sidelines. Interception by Polly Crichton. And now Kat Short, the sophomore, connects her pass to Reese Eckenrode. Reese has scored twice today. And now she looks for her fellow junior, Ainsley Jones. Back to Reese. And good interception there by, yet again, Emma Ronau.
It was a great bit of link-up play between Ainsley and Reese to get down the field, get into that center position, and almost get a goal. But like you said, great defending there by Emma to take the ball away, push it up the field. Oh, no, they did win the corner. So, yeah, push it up the field and give them the offense a chance to attack and get a goal.
Harder into the circle, but Sarah Grace Boykin took it away. And it'll be Titan possession as we are under 12 minutes to go. Titans have some exciting opportunities coming up, hosting a tournament here this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Trinity will be playing Cox High School from Virginia Beach on Friday afternoon. Cox is public school power, frequently ranked regionally. And then Saturday afternoon, the Titans will host Paul VI coming down from Fairfax. So, and there's also several other games involved in that invitational. It's not just Trinity games. I don't remember all the teams off the top of my head, but it's a really nice assortment of teams going to be here on the field at Aycock Stadium Friday and Saturday.
But to be honest, if the Titans keep up this amazing defense and the midfield keeps doing what they're doing, the offense gets a little bit more clinical when they get into that shooting circle, they can really beat any team. Like we already know, they're already ranked 12th in the nation, so better than thousands of other teams out
Yeah.
there. So, like I said, the offense just becomes a little more clinical. The defense keeps strong. The midfield keeps strong. This Titans team can go very far and beat a bunch of very, very, very good teams.
No, I totally agree with you, JJ. And they just, I mean, I know it's early in the season, but they sort of just seem like they're on a mission this year. I mean, last year the team was 22-0, and then as the 1 seed in the Vista State tournament, did fall short of ultimately that winning that championship. The injury to Lila Grace Logan was a factor in that, and this team was a really nice balance of juniors and seniors, mostly upper class people leading this team. Although there are a couple sophomores out there as well, and Olivia Francis and Kat Short. Saints trying hard to get that goal before it's all said and done. Titans are about to get a bit of a boost, as if they needed one, from a student section that's just showed up, as it looks like a big chunk of the football team has popped out here to check out the last 9 minutes or so. No whistle there as players sort of stop for a second, but you know what I always say, the number one rule of sports is play to the whistle.
Yeah.
You should learn that when you're 5 years old, and I think that one of the Saints players sort of had the stick knocked out of her hand and everybody sort of stopped, but Olivia Francis was hip to it and kept going.
If you're the Saints here, or fans and coach, I think you do really want your team to be pushing for a goal just to get some type of momentum going into the next one. Even if it doesn't bring you back into the game fully, you just get that little feeling like, all right, we got a goal. We can carry this into next week, next game, and hopefully get a better result in the next one.
Yeah, and, you know, we talked about the Titans now, I guess, outscoring their opponents, I think 24-0 on the season?
Yeah, 24, yeah.
But this St. Catherine's team, you know, despite the fact that they have yet to score today, in their first 4 games, they've got a 7-2 win, 4-1, 3-2, and 5-1. So that's what, 11 plus 8. They've scored 19 goals, you know. So, I mean, clearly it's a team that has firepower. Just don't think they've been up against a back line quite like the Titans up until this point.
Yeah, give you even more reason to credit the Titans' backline and midfield for doing a great job on the defensive side. 19 goals coming in, and could, in 7 minutes and 30 seconds, leave with 0 goals coming out of this one.
Great pressure applied there by Ainsley Jones. She presses up, gets the steal, but on this wet field, the ball ran away from her, and that created a bit of a buzz amongst the student section that we mentioned a few minutes ago has emerged.
Yeah, slippery surface. Shout out Dr. Kemp for the freshman conceptual physics. Slippery surface, a ball rolling faster will not slow down as much as if it was on a dry surface. And Ainsley just lost control of it, not able to catch it and keep it in bounds and get a shot on target.
Good pressure there by Kat Short. Interception by Anna Reeser. And the Titans looking to get a 5th. And it's going to be a corner. And we know how dangerous they've been from these corner opportunities all day. It looks like it's going to be Reese Eckenrode to take the corner. She scored 2 goals today. Anna Reeser shot, good foot save, but it's back to Reese. Saved again. Reese again. Good job by the Saints to defend that one.
Yeah, great job.
I see their coaching staff clapping. I mean, I'm sure it's been a point of emphasis between quarters to having given up those 3 goals off of the corners previously. I'm getting my words corners and quarters confused. I think probably between quarters, they emphasize not conceding on another corner, and they did well on that one. That was probably the least threatening corner, actually, the Titans have had.
Yeah, did very well in that corner. The goalkeeper to block the initial shot, and then the defender getting her body in the way, putting her body on the line, and stopping that second shot.
Well, they're going to get more practice defending corners now because that one popped up and off of the body of one of the St. Catharines players in the circle. So Titans with another corner opportunity here. It's Reese Eckenrode once again. This time she plays it to Cabell Berkeyheiser. Off to the left to Reeser. Shot is just wide. Tough to see what happened there with that tent right in front of us, but St. Catharines is progressing it. But there comes Cabell Berkeyheiser with the steal. Cabell, I believe, recently committed to University of Richmond. And Anna Reeser getting involved. She is committed to Old Dominion University. So lots of future collegiate players out here on the turf at Aycock Stadium. Cat Short and Reese Eckenrode check out. Ainsley Jones back in, as well as Mackie Logan. We're under 3 minutes to go here. Looking ahead at TESPN broadcast in the next several days. Nothing tomorrow. I think we're going to have soccer against Fork Union on Thursday and soccer against Virginia Academy on Friday and field hockey against Paul VI on Saturday and hopefully field hockey against St. Gertrude on Monday. So about 4 broadcasts in the next week. So stay locked in here to TESPN for all that.
Are those soccer games looking to be good?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Fork Union is one that that's a game typically that the Titans tend to win. Virginia Academy, a little bit more of a wild card. It's not a school we play too frequently, so I don't know a whole lot about them. And as we speak, I mean, Trinity boys soccer right now is playing Benedictine. So we couldn't broadcast them both. So we chose to do field hockey today, but definitely curious when this one ends in about 90 seconds to head up to soccer and see if that's still going on. Good shot, and that was one of the closer times today that the Saints have come to scoring. So credit to St. Catharines. They have absolutely continued to fight here till the end.
I think that's like the second good shot that they've had this entire game, which is more credit to the Trinity defense. Only holding a team who scored 19 goals through 4 games to 2 shots is amazing, really. And Coach Need has to be happy about this performance that our team has put on today.
Yeah, very businesslike, patient. Didn't score in the first quarter, but just kind of continued to let the pressure mount, rely on those excellent corners. And, we talk about credit to St. Catherine's for battling to the end, but also, these Titan players, I haven't seen any drop in their intensity. Nice skills shown off by Madison Jewett there to handle that one. The fans liked that. Titans still pressing to get one more before the clock is up. Olivia France is slicing and dicing her way through, and she finally fell, and that does it. So, final score, Trinity Episcopal 4, St. Catherine's 0. JJ, final thoughts and a player of the game from you?
I don't really have a player of the game because everybody did what they were supposed to. Reese had 2 goals, obviously. Defensive line played very well. The midfield played very well, creating a bunch of chances. So I'd say really the whole team is the team of the game, I guess. But takeaway is Titans defense really, really, really good. Need to keep up that form if they want to keep winning games. The midfield needs to keep creating chances. The attack needs to be a little more clinical, a little more decisive with their passes. And then keep scoring off of corners, because the more attacks you get, the more corners you win. And if you're more efficient on corners, it's more valuable when you win them. It's not just a waste of a possession when you do get those corners. So keep being efficient on corners, and this team can go very, very, very far.
Love all that, JJ. Enjoyed doing this game with you. Hopefully we shall be back here. We will have our next field hockey broadcast Saturday at noon as the Titans host the Panthers from Paul VI. Thanks, everybody who joined us. Good luck to St. Catherine's the rest of the season, and we will see you next time.